Many people commit mistakes because they are ignorant. There are different types of poverty. Poverty of money is the least painful. Poverty of knowledge is the most painful. Ignorance is not at all a bliss. Ignorance would damage the quality of our lives. So gradually we need to evolve into greater consciousness through reading, maybe watching videos, maybe observing at people and introspecting ourselves and reflecting on events happening outside. The quality of one's learning would be translated to quality of living and consequently mental health. Next one is developing quality relationships. Maybe in the office, maybe in family. We need to develop quality relationships. How can we develop quality relationships? There is only one method of developing quality relationships: accepting others with their limitations. No, we cannot make others the photocopy of ourselves. We truly like our photocopies alone. We like our photocopies alone, but we cannot expect others to be our photocopies. So, have a heart large enough to accept others with their limitations. Nowadays, we see plenty of relationship breakage, young couples breaking away. The reason is this: failure to accept the other person with limitations also. Now a mother would accept a mentally challenged child, gracefully accept it, and the misbehaviors of that child would be looked upon in an empathetic manner. But a woman need not be that empathetic to her husband. Now everybody is limited by his heredity and environment. We are made into such a personality. Now everyone is struggling to overcome the limitations posed by the heredity and environmental aspects. For example, two people are served chicken biryani, and the person who is offering food said, "Oh, even at the sight of biryani salivating, poor beggars." He passes such a sarcastic comment and offers biryani. One person takes the biryani and eats it. The second person tells, "Even if I die out of hunger, I wouldn't eat your biryani. I don't need it." Same stimulus, but contradictory responses. We are limited by our heredity and environment. So, if a person is a sound person, balanced person, you are a fortunate human being. If another person is not at all sound and he is misbehaving, we need to understand that he is unlucky, having poor heredity and poor environment. We know the story of identical twins. Identical twins are expected to give identical behavior in future. But one child was brought up by a gentleman and the next child was brought up by a gangster. The first child becomes an ideal person and the second child becomes a gangster. We are limited by our environment and by heredity also. We are limited human beings. So, we need to have quality relationships with others, and we need to learn the art of accepting others with their limitations. Only then are we worth enough. We are quality people if we accept others with their limitations as well. Now, next key to mental health is physical exercise. There is an experiment. The conclusion was that if a person takes sit-ups 15 times a day, that would add 15 years to the health of his heart. 15 sit-ups a day adds to 15 years of healthy heart. So physical exercise is important, and physical exercise is very closely related to mental and emotional well-being. All the pent-up feelings will be lost, washed away. A kind of catharsis is happen when we go for physical exercise. So physical exercise is very important. Next one is nature-friendly lifestyle. The story of Norman Cousins is important. He was a great author, but he had a great disorder, physical illness, where the cement of the cells was gradually being lost. And the doctors said you would live maximum 6 months. Do you know what he did? He went to a village, lived near a river, eating village food, watching comic movies, spending time with his friends who were lovers of fun. They had a fun time. 6 months he lived in the seashore with his wife and friends. Enjoyed every bit of it. Enjoyed every bit of his moments there. Now that cement that was gradually being lost came back to his body, and he came back as a healthy person and wrote a book, Anatomy of an Illness. And that book started a new branch of medical science, psychoneuropharmacology. A new branch started like that. So, nature-friendly lifestyle is important. We see William Wordsworth. Whenever he had troubles, he went to nature, and he got soothing experiences from nature. And for him, nature was a mother, sister, and nurse, and friend, and everything. Nature never betrays the heart that seeks her. That's important. So we need to cultivate a lifestyle in tune with nature, and we need nature-friendly lifestyles. Finally, we need skill with people. There's a beautiful book named Skill with People. If somebody is coming to confront us in an angry and irritating mood, respond only, never react. Reaction is impulsive, and response is consciously chosen behaviors. 2-3 things. Always try to agree with people. Sandwich criticisms. Call people by names. Smile a lot. Appreciate. Give positive stroke. These are some of the elements of skill with people. Everyone likes his name. Call him by his name. Everyone likes smile. Smile at people. Everyone like appreciation. positive strokes. Give plenty of positive strokes. Criticize in private and praise in public. Never allow people to lose their self-worth and self-esteem. That is skill with people. Finally, meditation. Meditation is the art of going to your inner strengths and drawing from it. That is meditation. The art of going to your inner self and your inner strengths and drawing out of it. Smiley Blanton is a famous American psychiatrist. He says, you are invested with unfathomable, immeasurable powers inside. Seek them, identify them. Meditation is the art of going into yourself, destroying, getting rid of all the distractions and going into yourself and drawing inner strength, inner powers from your inside personality. Maybe Western meditation style or Indian meditation styles like yoga and transcendental meditation. All these things can help us draw the power inside, the power dormant in ourselves. Finally, one word about boosting the mental health of others. How to boost the mental health of others. Now, all the 7-8 things that we are supposed to give ourselves, we need to give the same to others. We need to provide opportunities for others to exercise the brain power and mind power and inner strength. And our responses and our reactions, everything should be tender and motherly. Do you know why? A harsh comment, an imprudent remark can press a person to slip from mental health to mental illness. There are many stories. A sarcastic comment of a boy to a girl in a college day prompted the girl to stop her studies. A casual comment, a casual remark can cause terrible damage to another person because you are you and the other person is other person. Such a dramatic comment or sarcastic comment would be accepted by you with a pinch of laughter, but for another person such a sarcastic comment can be terrible and unbearable. So we be very tender to everyone living with you and working with you, and be very tender to you as well. Now, when we are working with others, others should be our priority. And as far as teachers are concerned, make every opportunity to give a positive suggestion and a positive stroke to the students. Only by a tender approach can we boost the mental health of others, because everyone is vulnerable and anyone can slip from normality to abnormality. We should be tender and kind enough. With these words, I would like to conclude my presentation. I am really thankful to all the participants of the webinar, and let us try to put to practice all the important points that we have listened today, and let us smile a lot, and let us change the world with our positive attitude and inner strength. Thank you, and I am indebted to all the participants. Thanks a lot, and all the best to you.